Hey there! So today we have another review. This is a beer courtesy of Elliot, and this is Sapwood Cellars Plush Pop. And so what is this? This is a sour ale brewed with raspberry, lime zest, and vanilla beans added. This is not your typical Sapwood Cellars sour beer. So not only do they make hazy IPAs, but they also like a mixed fermentation program. So they have a good amount of wine barrels that they, I think they're actually doing fooders too, maybe. But anyway, they generally do long fermented, barrel aged, mixed fermentation beers. This is loads of fruit with freeze-dried raspberries, fresh lime zest, heap of Tahitian vanilla beans, and it's just a Berliner, right? Yeah, straight Berliner. Like it's a simple sour base, from what I understand. So 5.3%. Again, like Plush Pop, like I like the color, but I feel like, you know, just be a little bit more poppy of a label. I don't know. If you guys like it, you guys can post comments below. That's sort of what their like appearance is. I mean, I generally like most of the label, but there's little things I like to point out. Oh, by the way, highly recommend that you guys check out, just subscribe to Sapwood Cellars on YouTube, please. If you guys subscribe to me, check them out. They have some great videos. They have one that is, I mean, then again, I'm gonna do video highlighting them, but they have one where they do like a homebrew system versus like whatever they're like $10,000 professional brewery setup, you know, comparing, contrasting. And then they have a really fun one where they do a contest where they get their base Berliner, and then they go to a dollar store. Each person, Mike and Scott, gets a $10 budget, and they just throw a bunch of stuff into their beers, put it to the tap room, you get one keg, and you look at the Untappd ratings, and who won? I think actually Mike won, and then Scott was cleaning his car to win the bet. That's pretty cool. So beer comes in that kind of like raspberry Berliner kind of note to it. I mean, it looks like sort of ice, blah, blah, blah. It's just got that bright raspberry kind of note to it, a little bit pinkish kind of head to it, and yeah, it's raspberry, right? Ooh, smells nice. So I get really nice kind of like fresh lime zest thing. Sometimes lime comes off like a little bit sweet and funky and candy. This is like really nice. And also like fake and gross. Yeah, it smells like real lime zest. I mean, then again, the raspberry's covering it up a little bit, but like lime zest is such a hard ingredient I find to use. I feel a lot of times people may or may not be using puree, and it comes off like, lime is such a delicate fruit. If you go to a cocktail place and don't get actual freshly squeezed lime juice and lime juice that comes in a bottle, or forget about the supermarket stuff, which is like concentrate plus like, you know, citric acid or whatever, but the stuff that's like squeezed already and then like sent to, you know, your distributor, it's just not the same. It's oxidized by then, and there's something about just like freshly squeezed lime juice in cocktails, just like unmatchable. But not smelling it, it turns a little bit different on me. I'm getting this kind of like marshmallowy sweetness, and then you get that classic kind of tart raspberry, but it's less seedy and like really bright poppy sour. It's more like tart with a little bit of that candy kind of marshmallow with a little bit kind of like that citrusy lime zest thing. It's fun. Nice. Very nice beer, yeah. So, pretty just solid, you know, Berliner acidic base. I like how, you know, it is sour beer. It's not just simply tart. I like where the acidity is at. And then, and then get, what is that in the back end? I think that's just the wheat base. Just tons of wheat. So it just rides on tons of like crack grains and a lot of like saltines without salt on them. So up front, there's almost like a Goza-esque thing going on here, which is very strange. You know, generally you think like it'd be salinity coming in. I mean, generally Goza salinity would be coming in, but here we have vanilla. It's so strange. I get this kind of like drying sense of almost like the salt, but there's no salt in here, right? Strange. That might just be the water that they're using, or just now happy how snappy and dry the beer is. Because now, even though I smelled it, there's maybe an impression of a little bit of vanilla in the back end, but the beer really is not that kind of like dessert of ice, you know, dessert sour kind of thing. It really is just like a wonderful, you know, fruit puree, raspberry thing, a little bit of like acidity from the lime zest. And now wait for it. It's got a nice kind of complexity of not only the acidity of the base beer, but this impression of of acidity from that lime. So the lime zest is really complementing the acidity of this beer quite nicely, along with obviously the raspberry. And then there's a little hair of this kind of like marshmallowy, candy, vanilla note. But I would swear that this beer was Goza if I had a blind. Like raspberry Goza. Raspberry lime Goza. With like, huh. So anyway, fun, fruit of ice, Florida of ice, Catarina style sour, what do you want to call it? It's delicious. Let's go with a, I like that this is nice and refreshing. Generally the beers that like, you know, are more impact or like obviously way more fruited. Not pulpy, but like more fruited. This one really has a nice balance of just acidic based Berliner with the fruit addition. So 90, I mean, I could crush this beer. $94. Plush Pop, raspberry lime, vanilla bean sour. Until next time, guys, cheers. Sapwood Cellars, not Cellar Maker. Absolutely killing it. Thank you so much, Elliot. Killer stuff. Cheers. Later.